In this movie, we're going to look at a set of images and talk about making a contact sheet, how you can do a preset. So, for example, let's just say I've got some images that I need to put together in a contact sheet. I'm going to take this folder of images right here, and I'm going to make a contact sheet preset using these. Now, for them to all show up in the print module, if I go Command A, that selects them all. And then what I'm going to do is go over and click on print. So by default, I've already got this template that's already set up here. And it's showing up in my template browser under user templates. It's a 4x3 contact sheet. It's got the file name. It's got 12 images per page, 4 rows, 3 columns, and it's got my name here. So let's talk about how this was all set up. I'm going to start off from the very beginning, kind of go back to a real basic setup here. So typically you'd end up starting off with something where you have 1 image per page. So the way this works is we're going to go over here to the right side where it says single image contact sheet. I'm going to turn off zoom to fill. I'm going to turn off rotate to fit. By the way, this is all laid out in your handouts that you got in class. So we're going to look at our margins. I'll leave those this way in case you need to print them out. That's pretty default margins here. I'm going to look at page grid. Well, the rows, I'll take this and slide this over until it says 4. Now I got 4 rows. Columns, I'll slide this over until it says 3. And right now they're all touching each other. You can leave it that way, or you could add just a little bit of spacing. So it doesn't have to be much. I think on mine I made it like 0.05. You can actually just type this in or use your arrow key and adjust it as well. So if I do 0.05 and then I click on the next one here, I could do 0.05 as well. And that just gives me a little bit of space so they don't touch. Don't mess with cell size, that's already been adjusted. Now, the guides, if you turn this off, you can see what it looks like without any guides. Show guides shows you what they look like here. Not too big of a deal. Identity plate. So I can turn this on, and that puts my name. Now, if your name doesn't show up here and you don't have an identity plate, you just click on this little down arrow, and you go to Edit. And there's a lot of different ways you can do this. You can bring in a graphical identity plate like a logo or something. But for my class purposes, just type in your name. And then this is like word processor program here. So I'll just type in my name. You could change the font if you highlight it and go, okay, what font do you like? So if there's a preferred font, you could use that preferred font. Now, there's a regular or bold, etc. There's a font size, and then there's a color. So I'm just going to pick black as my default color, and I'm going to click OK. So by default it shows up here in the center. I'll click on it. I'm going to move it to the bottom left so that it's not really on top of anything. Now you'll notice that it is on top of an image. So if I put my mouse in the bottom of this, I can click, I can hold down, I can drag up like so. And you can see that now there will be no images that are overlapped with text. Made it a little bit smaller, but that's okay. So next thing here, if I click on photo info and you leave the default of file name, it'll take whatever your file name is here. I don't have the extension on there, but you can add anything else you want to as well. That's there. Next, we're going to go down to print job. So we're going to print to a JPEG file, not printer, but JPEG file. You can leave the file resolution at 150 because you never need to print real nice for contact sheets if you're doing this for real. Print sharpening, just leave it by default, JPEG quality 100. So all that would be fine. I don't do anything else. I'm not going to play with anything else. Now, if you're doing this for the first time, come over here to the template browser. You can hit plus, and you would just call this something that makes sense to you. So I'm going to do 4x3 CS because I've already got one named contact sheet. and it automatically is going to go to user templates saved on my hard drive. And I hit create. So you can see I have kind of two of them. They're pretty much the same thing. And that way it's a one-click process. It's like a preset going forward. Now, if you actually want to print out your contact sheet, you want to make a file, you can take the printer. Just in the bottom right, click on print to file. And what I asked y'all to do in the beginning is on your hard drives, you would make a nice little folder called contact sheets. So I click on here, and so you can make this make sense to whatever you're doing. So if I needed to, I could go mtruitt from my name, and like as I say, this is exercise 1, it'd be E1 and CS. Whatever it happens to be. The CS just stands for contact sheet. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I can see the extension. And you'll notice that if there's more than one page, you'll get more than one file. So there's only one page here. But just realize if you had 24 images, you get 2 files. Whatever it needs to do, it's going to do automatically. We click save. Little progress bar here at the top. And when that's done, that file has been sent to that folder on my hard drive, and I'm done here. Simply to get out of this, I can click on library, and I'm back out of this.